Hey everybody, I'm Tiffany Smith and welcome to our first installment of DC TV for this season. And joining us, we've got William Bibbiani from Crave. How you doing?
Sup?
I like it.
Yeah.
Sup, back to you. So what's going on over at Crave this week?
This week we're very excited. Schedule permitting, we've got Genndy Tartakovsky coming on to our B-Movies podcast. You can listen to that on the website or subscribe to it on iTunes. He's the creator of Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, did Star Wars The Clone Wars, the original animated series. So that should be a lot of fun. That'll be an in-depth conversation with an animation legend, so check it out.
Awesome. So excited to have you back. As I said, this is our first installment of DC TV, which means all of the shows are premiering again, and I'm super pumped. But let's kind of give a little bit of a look back at season 1 of Gotham. I loved getting to know all of the characters, but what were some of your favorite moments from last season?
Well, some of my favorite moments had to do with some of my favorite characters. We were introduced to Jada Pinkett's Fish Mooney, who I don't know if she's gonna be back sometime this season, but after she gouged out her eye
With a spoon.
just to spite someone. She was, oh, you want my eye? Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Ha! But it was an incredible moment, and even though she's one of the original characters on the show, and a lot of the focus has been on people like the Riddler and Catgirl, I guess, we were waiting for Fish to really come into her own, and that was the moment where you just couldn't deny she's now a legend.
Yeah, and we definitely met a ton of villains throughout season 1. One of my favorites and the creepiest was the Ogre, and I really enjoyed how kind of slow it was. We got to get to know him a little bit before we knew how creepy he really was.
That's something that Gotham has gotten consistently even better about throughout the series, is not just introducing a villain. They started off with kind of a villain with a weak aesthetic, but really getting to know them and really making them a part of the tapestry of Gotham, and I think it's something we're going to see more of. One of my favorite moments is we knew Edward Nygma was going to become the Riddler eventually, but when?
What? Nygma?
When will he riddle us things? And then he riddled his romantic rival with stab wounds, and it was great. Not that I approve of the whole stabbing business, but when Nygma does it in a fictional capacity, it was pretty cool, and it was the great becoming. It was like, yes, finally, and I cannot wait to see where it goes next.
Well, and you kind of joke about, like, people talk about dating, they're like, things are really romantic if you really like the person, but they can just be creepy and weird if you're not into the person. So Kris Kringle, who is his object of affection throughout the whole first season, he's writing her poems and riddles and things. And we know he's creepy, but there's moments of like, maybe she's like, no, he's weird. But I loved seeing that awkwardness between the two of them. That leads to him flying off the handle.
Right, she is, you know, I think they're destined to be together. I'm just gonna say that right now. I think they're gonna end up romantically entangled and married, and no one will even find out about the whole cop thing. It's just gonna have a really happy ending.
Or she'll find out, like when Barbara found out, when Barbara found out more about the Ogre and she was still kind of on board with him, it's like maybe Kris will find out and she'll still be on board with Nygma.
Right, the opposite of my prediction is probably a little bit more likely. I'm the first to admit that.
You never know. Stranger things have happened in the world of romance in Gotham.
That is true.
Speaking of kind of looking forward, season 2, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to seeing, aside from romance between the two of them?
Of course, well, more romance across the board. No, I feel like one of the things that Gotham was doing was it was establishing a world of villains. Gotham started off as a world that was very organized, completely corrupt, but very organized, and now villains are starting to reign supreme. The world is getting a lot more chaotic, and we're shoving them all into the same place.
Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing Arkham Asylum actually filled with some of the characters we know and love.
As you said, I'm excited to see all the characters kind of that we maybe met from season 1, but what even Ben McKenzie said, and David Mazouz, when he came in, we interviewed him, he talked about the fact that they're gonna spend a lot more time with each villain this season. We're not gonna get like a villain of the episode, kind of like what we did last season. And so it kind of threw me back to with the Ogre, where it's like there's gonna be a lot more development of the backstory with these villains, and I think that's gonna work really well for the show.
That's right, and one of the other things I'm desperately looking forward to, and I'm like, I cannot wait, is Nygma hiding in plain sight. I want them to milk this for as long as humanly possible. I want when Gordon or Bullock or whoever it is who finally puts it together, finally realizes that Nygma is a homicidal maniac who has been dropping clues about this all the time, I want them to go, oh, we're so stupid. That moment is gonna be really, really exciting, but until then, I want the cat and mouse when the mouse doesn't even know they're the mouse.
I almost wouldn't even mind if he doesn't do anything doesn't kill anybody else for a while.
Yeah.
And it's like he kind of flies under the radar and then has one of those crazy breakout moments again.
Well, there's so much opportunity you have with someone who is working in the GCPD, who is not only not just corrupt and can be bought, but who is a maniac and has the potential to completely sidetrack all their cases or just screw with them in every conceivable way. And I really hope they milk it. I hope it's great.
At the very end of last season, you know, obviously we get the what's going on under the Wayne Manor.
Probably nothing.
David kind of said he said this season he's definitely gonna get a lot more training in, which last season we saw those quick clips of, you know, him trying to fight with Selena or him being trained to punch a little bit. So I think that will be something fun to see, where it's how does this character become the character that we all already know, who is a real force to deal with.
I still predict that if Gotham lasts long enough, at some point they're going to want to cut forward a couple of years and let Bruce go off on his international travels and come back. And we'll see how Gotham has evolved in the interim. I think that'd be very, very exciting. But obviously, for now, we're right in the thick of it.
Yeah. So in our first installment of DC TV, so far, we've recapped our favorite moments from season 1 and where we think season 2 may possibly go. But one thing we have not gotten to is the bad apple of the week. Who would you say is the one character to watch?
Who is the bad apple? Who is the bad apple to watch? It's Barbara. Barbara. We don't know what Barbara is yet. There's so many characters on the show, and we have this general sense of where they end up because of our familiarity with them. Barbara is a complete wild card right now. Yeah. We've seen a clip of her in Arkham. She had a knockdown, drag-out fight with Leslie Tompkins at the end of last season, and I don't think she's probably forgiven Leslie Tompkins. I think there's probably like a little bad blood there.
One of my favorite moments, which you didn't even talk about, was in season 1 too, with Barbara and Selena and Poison Ivy.
Fashion show?
Where they're just having the little like girl sleepover fashion show.
Right? How great was that? Yeah, that's the one.
It's still like on some level made me think of, you know, Gotham City Sirens, where you're getting a glimpse of these women characters together, which that could play into next season. We don't know that she's in the asylum, and maybe Selena and Poison Ivy are kind of on her side. I don't know. We'll have to see.
What do you know? You know secrets.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I know nothing.
I know nothing.
Jon Snow. That's a different show. Well, thanks so much, William, for hanging out with us for DC TV.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aw.
Don't miss the premiere of Gotham Season 2 tonight on Fox to find out who came out on top after last season's finale. And after it premieres on the West Coast, head over to DCComics.com for all your #DCTV secrets.